The Castillo de Santa Catalina sits atop a mountain with the Andalusian town of Jaen living in its shadow. Its prominence marks a period of Spanish history beginning with the Moorish conquests, followed by its recapture during the Spanish conquests of Fernando III in 1246. While its foundations are Moorish, it has been rebuilt by the Spanish and finally by the French forces who used it as a base during the Peninsular War of Napoleon, which lasted from 1807 to 1814. The interior of the castle was ultimately destroyed by the French prior to their departure. It is majestic, beautiful, and not to be missed if touring the Jaen region of Andalusia, Spain. We're at the Cristo, the statue of the cross, just outside the Moorish fortress, which is over there. I just had a wonderful conversation with two Spaniards from northern Spain, and it's awesome to be able to speak Spanish here because you can actually communicate with locals. And they were like, "Well, our English is not so good, but I can talk to them." And I told them, but this was down here near the church. I had this horrible incident yesterday when we first came into town. I started the GPS and put it to the center, which that's the center, right, of Jaen. So the GPS did its job, but it put me in the middle of a festival on a pedestrian walkway while there were all of these kids out in costumes and everyone was dancing around. And I didn't know how to get out because I was in one way on a narrow street that went around a tiny corner. And this wonderful Spanish lady was my angel, and she helped me navigate. And I actually wanted to cry and ask her to drive, but she didn't want to do that. She just kind of pointed to make sure I wouldn't run into a building. But with her help, we got through it. We got out, and now we're at the top of... It's funny because when you read the sign here, the French people get to experience what I felt like when I was in Vietnam, seeing all of the things the Americans destroyed. Because here we always keep seeing all the things that the French destroyed when they occupied the fortress during 1810 to 1812. In southern Spain, it seems like everywhere you go, they remind you of what the French did. So this is just the auditorium at the little Castillo here. It makes me want to just come here and watch silent movies. So this area is way cool because this is the prison of the fortress, and this part still exists.
Kind of spooky.
But, this is where the French put all of the people that they were arresting. Down this way, there's actually there's one guy that's still here, and I feel really bad for him, but I don't know. He seems to be hanging out. I think he's sort of doing okay, but there he is. He's making the best of it, right? It's all you can do. It's all you can do.
Do you think this place is haunted?
I think so. But the thing is that I don't get is that in America we think every place is haunted, but it's only 20 years old. And then you come to Europe and these places are 3,000 years old. So if everywhere in America that's 20 years old is haunted, I mean, think about it, right? Here's the blocks where they would put your hands through them. So you're stuck like that.
Oh, can you take your hands out?
Oh God, I can't get it. Oh! This is the top of the fortress where the French actually had cannons up here. What remains today?
I guess the toilet during the Middle Ages.
Oh, well, that's certainly the most important part of the entire fortress.
Look at how they poop.
What would affect everybody's day more than pooping
Look at how long that
all the way down there? For once, they probably had a place that they could poop and it didn't smell. Meeting to the guy at the very bottom, he was really a poop head.